Okay, that was a really bad clap. Hi, hello. So, for this week's video, I will be experimenting with my style, but first I have something I need to say. I'm gonna try to make it really quick because every time I've talked about this, I've talked for like 20 minutes. So, this hasn't been very public, and I don't know. I've looked on its channel, and I haven't seen anything about them really acknowledging this other than a community post, which if you are a YouTuber, you know the community post goes nowhere. Doesn't really go anywhere, really. Like, I post things on my community tab and I get like 2 comments. If you can look at my community tab, because sometimes they're not accessible on certain devices, you can go see. So, to post that only on your community tab to make sure no one really sees it is shitty. And I just wanted to say that I'll link it in the pinned comment. This person has come out as a map. I don't want to be a news reporter, and I'm going to try to be really fast with this. And I also want to say I hate drama. This is as close as I'm getting to it, and I hate, I never want to do commentary. This is, nope. So I just want to say this because I think the fact that this person is hiding this information, sort of, like, they're being public about it enough to where people are going to be like, oh, why are you trying to hide it? But she's also not being open enough about it to where, like, her YouTube channel really sees it. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that that's just really wrong, especially with the community that we're in. It's because, look, the art community has a bunch of minors in it, and you come out as a map, like, most of your subscribers are probably minors. Like, I know that about myself. I knew starting this YouTube channel, most of my subscribers were probably gonna end up being minors, because that's just kind of the nature of the internet art community. And I'm just read the post. I just want this to be so people can be safe, especially if you are a minor. I don't think you need to be interacting with a person like that. As a minor myself, I've unsubscribed and from the channel, and I am really close to blocking it because I need to protect myself, and I think other people need to protect themselves, and they need to know this information to protect themselves. I don't mean to cancel or flame this person, and I don't want to. I honestly almost didn't want to do this because I am a type of person who will do anything not to seem rude or mean or anything, and I just realized I need to put that aside and just say this to keep people, my fans, safe. Because if I didn't say something and something happened, and even though my channel was so little, I'd feel horrible about it. And even though she's said that they will not, they've never groomed or hurt anybody that's a minor, I'm sorry, or they never, it'll never will. I can't believe that. I just can't believe that, and I'm just shocked and mortified. And I don't think you need to be saying you never will. I am a polar person who thinks that any map, regardless, is a danger to somebody under the age of 18. And so I don't care that this person hasn't done anything or says they won't do anything. There's still a chance, and I want all my fans to be safe. That's all I'm gonna say, or else I'm gonna rant for like 20 minutes. But I will link the post to the whole thing in the comments. Like I said, I'm not a drama person, but I needed to say this my way to protect people. And yeah, okay. I'm sorry for this really long PSA. Now on to the drawing. Thank you for listening if you did. Okay, hi, I'm back. I recorded this in segments, but woo, that was a very difficult topic, and I'm sorry if I messed up pronouncing and talking. I just get very nervous. I'll probably say that in the text I'm putting in the beginning, but sorry. Okay, so for this drawing, this is about experimenting with my style, and as a art YouTuber, I feel like I can't experiment anymore, and to have like a specific style, but I feel like I'm just putting myself in a box, and I want to break free from that box, and so I turned it into content. So this drawing overall looks like most of my other drawings, other than I've been experimenting with making different facial features, because usually when I am drawing a character, I just draw like an anime, like one line nose, and that is great and all, but I've been looking at my art and I've kind of have same face syndrome really bad, and I know partially this is because I don't have very many features I can add in my style. I have round faces and skinny faces and different eye shapes, but other than that, I can't do very much. And I have different types of noses, but it's very subtle and it's really hard to tell the differences between all of them, or the like 3 types of noses I usually draw, which are a flat nose bridge, sort of has a nose bridge or a normal nose bridge, and then a strong nose bridge. And I realized that it's really hard to tell between the 3, and that I could add different types of faces if I started to draw an actual nose. So I wanted to experiment with that. This was the worst pose to experiment that with. But you can still see like the part where I defined on the bridge. And for this character, I've been going back and forth between giving her a super flat nose and giving her more of like a, I don't want to call it like a broken nose, a hooked, like where there's the bump, because I find that to be a very like noticeable and attractive feature. And I think like it's, I don't know, to me those noses, they're super unique and iconic, and I thought it'd be really cool if my character had it. But I wasn't sure because she's a vampire, but her ethnicity is Romanian, because I thought the Romanian vampire thing was funny. And when I looked up like Romanian people, most of them had like really flat noses, but I was also thinking she could be the exception to that rule to make her look cool. So I'm probably that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, also so she doesn't just have that pretty anime girl face, because I want her to look unique, because in all intents and purposes she's not very unique, and I want her to look more unique. I think to make her as a character stand out more, because even though her whole character is like hiding in the shadows essentially, and like feeding off of humanity by sneaking around and pretending to be a high school human, or a human in high school, I think she needs something about her, like to make her more intense, I guess. Yeah, and to because I want to make a video game with this character. I have it's a sort of outdated concept corner, and I'm thinking about like updating it, but it's with her really old design and her old brother's design, and I want to make a video game with her at some point where you play as a vampire, and it's like Hitman, where you're going to school to school. Basically, you're moving around, and you're in a competition with your siblings on who can like get the most blood. That's the premise, and so it'd be like Hitman, and yeah, but so I want her to be like sort of unnoticeable, but I want her to be iconic, to where if somebody like saw her and they were like scrolling through like Twitter or something and someone drew fan art of her, if this game ever comes out, they're like, oh yeah, that's Mara. And I also, another thing from, if you watch that old video, I changed her name to Mara because through that entire video I was pronouncing her name wrong, and she had one of those names I can't help but to pronounce incorrectly if I'm reading it, so I changed it to something that I wouldn't sound like an idiot attempting to say but not saying correctly. So her name's Mara. I like it. It's sweet. It's simple. I'm not trying to say, I don't remember what I was trying to say, but her old name was Michaela, but I was trying to make it sound more exotic because I didn't read it as Michaela. It's really sad for me, actually. But yeah, that is her thing. But for this drawing, most of it came out in the actual drawing of the nose, and then the rendering. So for the rendering of the face, I was able to define more of the bridge. In the video where I drew on my phone and I drew Harley Quinn, I drew a little bit of the nose bridge to like show some sort of dimension in the face, but if I define the nose more, I can define more of that bridge and that like shadow that everybody has, and overall it makes for a more like dramatic thing. I also think this isn't the best drawing for this at all. But another thing is I was able to actually have a really nice harsh line I could go across to make that shadow on the side of her face that's closest to the knife. And because I already had like a line like defining where the nose is, along with I was able to shade the nose without like being like, oh, that shadow looks a little awkward, which has been something I've been running into. Like my last video, I'm going to talk about it again. I felt really awkward trying to shade her nose. And I was trying to shade it over and over again, and I was like, this is not looking right. And I feel like if I drew that kind of nose, I wouldn't have had that problem. And then for her, and I also want to say with experimenting with my style, I'm going in more and more into a detailed direction, which I'm probably going to pay the price for later. But I've been having so much fun adding all these little details into my art that like I don't even care, because a piece takes me like 6 hours, but I have so much fun like adding all the little bits to it that I don't even care. But yeah, another thing is I want to talk about her design change, because I don't think many of you had probably noticed her design change or knew about her existence before. But I changed her design to a more schoolgirl looking outfit. Originally, I wanted her to have a super unique uniform, but I also thought to myself, she is trying to blend in, and she wouldn't be, this is her like, I'm gonna call it a mascot uniform. This is what she'd be wearing in promotional art, and maybe for like the first parts of the game, but obviously as she goes places, her uniform is going to change, and she might even be wearing street clothes in a school that doesn't have a uniform. So I decided to make it more basic. One, for that reason, and two, so it actually reads more like a school uniform, and you can look at her and you immediately tell she is a schoolgirl vampire. And yeah, that is mostly why I changed it. I also thought it, on the original design, her having like the thigh-high socks and like kind of like the bare leg, it's cute, and I love thigh-high socks. I love drawing thigh-high socks, but I was thinking for a vampire, she would want to be as covered as possible, same thing with the short sleeves. And even though the vampires in my universe can protect themselves from the sun using like artifacts, I wanted her to still try to stay covered, maybe because she's like kind of fearful of letting a lot of her skin touch the sun, because she knows the sun's not good for her because she's really not good for her because she's a vampire. So she got tights and long sleeve shirt, or long sleeve jacket. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I had a really fun time making this drawing. I think it turned out like the coolest drawing. Like, it came out so freaking nice. When I was drawing this, I wasn't sure how, especially when I was doing the background, because I started with the background because I was scared of it. The background's supposed to be like shattered stained glass, like a church, and behind her is supposed to be an upside down cross because she's a vampire, obviously. And I think even though I've never drawn broken glass before, it turned out actually really sick, and I'm super proud of it. But yeah, I'm also really proud of her face. She kind of looks like that one drawing of Satan that goes around when people are like, oh, look at him, and then they like show a picture of the devil, and like it's like that's the picture. It kind of looks like that, which is kind of cool because she is a vampire, and you know, that's sort of like it's not holy, I can tell you that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really had a fun time drawing this, and I really hope the beginning of this video didn't bring you down too much if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, I hope you had a fun time watching this drawing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.